Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Around Table. We are here tonight and we have a special guest with us tonight. And we just want everybody to come in, join in. As you come in, say hello, say hi, say how you doing. And I just want to introduce myself very quickly. And then everybody who's watching from Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, good evening, everyone. And we appreciate you coming in on tonight. We have a special topic on tonight, y'all. And a lot of people don't realize, well, let me just say who I am first before we get in with the good stuff, right? Right. Okay, my name is Juanita Adote. I am the founder. I am the owner of the A Round Table. And we just come on here, we share the light on people businesses. We do a lot of things. We share topics, issues, life, things. Well, life be lifing, right? So we share a lot of those things on this table, at the table, while we enjoying the table. All right. So welcome everybody. We appreciate everybody that's coming in on tonight. And when you do come in, say hello. Say hello, everybody. And we got a special guest on tonight. But I just want to greet everybody and say hello. I'm gonna make sure my comments is open. You got say hello. Hello, how you doing on tonight? Thank you for coming in. I see that YouTube is open. Hello, everybody. Welcome in, welcome in. Hello. I appreciate you coming in. I appreciate it. Okay, so on tonight, y'all. On tonight, we have a special guest and we have a special topic on tonight. So I'm going to get quiet. And so our special guest can come on, introduce himself, share something about himself, and then we can go from there on the topic. Okay, the table is yours.
All right. Well, good evening. Good evening. So my name is Scott Fredericks, and I do a number of things. That's probably why I'm on the show. Outside of being a clergyman, I am a hotel manager and have been doing that for about 21 years, managing a well-known brand, Hilton Hotels, for the last 21 years, and juggling a lot of different responsibilities. Also, licensed funeral director and a number of other things, project manager. So I got a few notches underneath the belt.
Awesome. You want to share that too? You want to share anything else about? You want to go into that, or you just want to just keep it on the top?
I mean, I think we can go into it as we go along through the show. I can, dabble in and out of each and every aspect of some of the things that I mentioned because I think it's going to help, especially for people who are managing uh, different careers or on their second and third career,
Mhm.
um, or they just choose to be a person that wears many hats and they go in and out of each one of their businesses and its structure in between. So we probably can cover all of it.
Okay, and that's going to fall right into the topic on tonight about
Mhm.
time management. Stop wasting your time management, and we're going to get into that. People go, "Oh, I have no problem with time management," but there's a lot of people who don't understand the importance of time, the importance of um, doing it accordingly, because we have a time, you hear it a lot of times. There's a time you're born, there's a time you die, but in between there's a dash. And the question is, what are you going to do with that dash? So everybody coming tonight, let's say, what are we going to do with that dash? Let's talk about that a little bit, and then we're going to go in that dash. Let's I'm going to that. What is it about that dash that we should be very mindful of?
Well, I think first of all, the dash could mean a lot of different things depending
Mm-hmm.
on where you find yourself in life. I
Mm-hmm.
think sometimes the dash becomes a problem when we don't know exactly whether it's more of a hobby, whether it's a career, because hobbies are good and bad. Because as a hobby, you could want to take something serious, so you tend to dabble in it just a little bit to see how it takes, if I'm really
Mhm.
good at it, am I really interested in it, is it for me?
Mhm.
And then it progresses on into a full-blown business or career, or life work. But
Mhm.
then sometimes we don't know whether it should be a hobby and we let it go, or whether it should be a hobby and we take it serious and develop a business out of it. They always say
Okay.
whatever you love,
Mhm.
that's the thing that you're called to do. But some people love a lot of things.
Okay, so let's go back because you just put a whole bunch right there in that little that bucket. You threw a whole bunch of stuff in there. And the one of the things I want to bring up, hello, everybody. One of the things I want to bring back what you just said, and I don't want anybody out there in Instagram land, Facebook, YouTube land, wherever you're watching from. Welcome. I do not want anyone to miss something you just said. Getting into things. You said a hobby.
Hmm.
A hobby can be a good and bad thing, right? A hobby you can start a business. A hobby you can uh, mess up with the business now because you're in a field of your field. There's a lot of things that goes on, a lot of management that you have to handle.
Correct.
What would you tell the people, the million of people that's going to be on here, and everybody, the millions of people that's going to be watching this? What would you tell them about that hobby? What to, what not to, when to, should you
Well,
fall, should you fold? Go ahead.
well, I think first it has to be something you love to do.
Hmm.
And sometimes a hobby, we're in a position where we don't know if we really love it yet.
Okay.
And then sometimes we don't know while doing the hobby, um, you can fall out of love with it.
Okay.
So there's a lot of avenues with hobbies.
Hmm.
But I would like to say, me personally, it should be tied to something that you really love to do. And it may not be something you've ever done, but it also could be tied to your personality. If you are a public speaker, there's a number of hobbies that you could do, but then you also have to count up the cost of what it is
There
to
you
see
go.
if you want to make the full investment to go to the next level. And even in
Yes.
hobby, there are different levels to your hobby.
Yes. Count the cost, meaning putting in the interest. Because you know what happens with the business, you don't really know what's going to happen
Right.
down the road. You don't know what's going to take place. And then a lot of times people might have the zeal or have the, I want to do this. And it's like something I have a desire for. And then they get in it and they see that, I can't manage this. The
Yeah.
time that it takes to get this off the floor, I can't do because it's too much. So with that being said, when should somebody fold? Maybe okay if you say they fall in love and then they fall out of love with it. Is that was something genuine? Was it something they desire, or just like play time?
Well, I think the misconception is that we think that everybody's going to support our hobby.
Say that.
And we
Say
think
that.
that a cluster of people who always root us on. And to be honest, for any business owner, there's a lot of people that say, "Oh, I'll support you, I'll support you, I'll support you." And then when you start to launch that business, you get that first influx of supporters. And
Mm-hmm.
then here we go, the thing we're talking about, as time progresses,
Yes.
you start to understand, well, I'm not getting any sales, or, should I invest in any more marketing? Maybe I'm marketing the wrong crowd. So
Okay.
it is at that moment, I think once you get over the beginning rush of thinking that everybody's going to support you because they came out to your launch, they showed up and they brought up everything for the first 2 or 3 times. But as you stay with the task longer, you begin to see that there's a dying down that happens. And it's after you're not making no money at that moment, or your revenue declines a little bit because it goes through different phases for all business. They always say the first 5 years
Okay.
are the most tedious part of your business, because if you can make it 5 years, then you can survive with the business that you're doing. But once you deal with that decline, if your feelings and emotions are tied to the decline, you're already out of business before you
Okay.
get started.
Now you say you're already a bit out of business because you like the desire, the love for maybe just tired. You could be just
Well,
tired of the. But I
or you
get you
could be
though.
upset that you ain't make no money and you just over it.
True, true. That's true. So should a person stick to it? We talking about time management. Should they stick to it and hold it out for 5 years and see? Let's see, or just like, yo, I'm spending too much money in this.
Well, I think that becomes a choice because then even after you reach the decline, then you start to fall into other areas for your business, such as, okay, marketing,
Go ahead. Go
campaigning, all
ahead.
that's marketing. So then you start to say, well, maybe I should be marketing different. Maybe I need to go on social media campaigns. What is my
Mm-hmm.
flyers or my advertisement looking like? You know, and as you begin to do those things and you start to, now that stuff costs money.
Yes.
You know, it costs money to get out there and even get started with some of those things. And
Mm-hmm.
then there's free avenues and free platforms in which you could push your business with that. But then after you change and begin to settle into your marketing style and your campaigns, and then you see, oh well, there's a pickup. So then now
Okay.
you start to understand that the world is changing and they come out with TikTok and all these different things. So now I have to now reach back down and learn to do things, here we go, that I've never done before.
Okay. Okay. And that's good to say because one of the things like running a podcast, especially you're a one woman, team for
Yeah.
now, there's things like I need to get this out there. So there, I had to tap into other things to
Hmm.
get things or to get it out there. Okay, now I need to and look into investing in some more programs,
Hmm.
invest into different things to get this moving because I'm like, there's a thing I desire. Well, I didn't desire it from the beginning. I strayed away from it or didn't want to because I was kind of nervous, fear, whatever you want to say. But I was like, I don't want to, but now I'm doing it. I'm putting the effort and my
Correct.
best foot forward to make this work. And it does cost money.
It does.
Running a podcast costs money because all the items I showed you, beforehand. Guess what? That's money.
The upgrades.
Yes, it costs money to run things. Okay, now we talked about that. Thank you for that. So, anybody else have a question? Oh, thank you. Welcome everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Now the question we're going to go to, we talked about that, with business about time, folding, when not to, desire, hobby. So let's drop into another topic. Did we finish that with the dash? Because we just did a little bit of it
Yeah. The dash is everything in between.
in between.
Yeah.
So it's in my every time I hear that, I think about when I say the dash. A lot of people don't understand that. They're like, I'm born, I live, I die, but in between there, leaving a mark. That's what I always think about when I
Right.
look and I think about the dash, leaving a mark here, leaving 4 generations. Well, people who from the Bible probably know what I'm talking about. Leaving 4 generations of blessings, So that's a dash. I'm doing something in the dash,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So that's where I'm looking at. I want to leave the mark. I want my kids, kids say, Grandma did great, great grandma did great, great grandma did great, and we living from her things. So yeah, so I anybody have questions? Because we're gonna go to the next thing. That's why we're here to make the most of that dash. Okay, so yeah, there was somebody we're here to make the most. A lot of people don't know when we say talk about the dash. They
Right.
don't know what we're talking about, right?
Everything in between.
It's the in between, what you're doing and before you're born and what you're gonna do while you're here. Make
Correct.
a mark. Okay. All right. We good on that. So we're gonna go to another topic and let's get into because you say you have some notes. I'm ready to hear what you got to say, and then I'll interject in there. And then anybody have any questions, please post them in Instagram and everywhere else. Go ahead.
Okay. I mean, the first thing I would like to deal with is like the myths of time management. And a lot of times we don't really understand what time management is. We
Mm-hmm.
we have this ability to always freelance and do the things that we want to do and think that we can cram everything in. But the first thing is can I manage my time? You have to be
Okay.
honest with yourself to say, number one, I'm a good or bad time manager, because you can't move to the next step in either unless you recognize what it is and what your strengths and your weaknesses are. And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people are great administrators, great everything, but then how do you do the things that you do? It's like going to somebody's desk and they have chaos all over their desk. But to some people, they know how to find everything on their desk through the chaos, where other people say, I can't function in that manner because everything has to be in a certain order. And it's the same thing depending on the field that you're in.
Mm-hmm.
Some people work better with the what do you call it? High pace. You know,
Yes.
if you're a nurse, you got ER nurses and trauma nurses who they live and they thrive off the fast pace because
Yes.
they've learned to master their surroundings and master their work. So jumping into action and thinking quick on their feet is who they are. And then you have some people that say, this is complete chaos.
Yes.
I don't know where anything is, don't know where to go next, what to do next. It's just
Mm-hmm.
moving too fast. My mind can't process that fast. So I think the first thing is just understanding, am I a good time manager or am I a procrastinator?
Whoo! Say that word
And
again.
procrastination is a real thing because procrastination says, I can do it if I want to,
Mm-hmm.
but I never get it done.
Is procrastination fear?
I don't think it's fair. I think it could be a couple of things. Laziness.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
you could be lack of challenge.
Okay.
And then my favorite, maybe I'm just not interested in the thing that I'm doing. It doesn't
Oh,
excite
okay.
me. So
Okay.
I don't have any interest in it to perform in it.
Mm.
So maybe I could be in the right industry, but in the wrong section,
Okay.
if that
Okay.
makes sense.
Okay. So when I brought up that thing about procrastination being a fear, you want, okay, let me give you a scenario. You know you want to do a thing and you have a desire to do the thing, but you're scared to that's gonna fail.
Well, we live with the threat of failure every day.
Okay.
And a lot of time that comes from really understanding who you are and what you're called to do. Because you have
Mm-hmm.
people that have great talent across the board and they don't have the confidence level to step out there because the thought of failing is too much and people don't know how to deal with rejection. For
There
instance,
you go.
working in a funeral home, it's nerve-wracking because now I'm responsible of putting this person together for their last viewing for their
Mm.
family and the fear that their family's going to walk in and say, who this? That's not how my mother looked. Why y'all put that makeup on my mother? You know how we do. Where that wig come from? That's not how she wore her hair.
Right,
There's always
exactly.
one,
Mhm.
that ain't my grandmother. She ain't like that. So in some industries, you're putting your best work in there.
Mhm.
And that has happened to me. And they say,
Okay.
well, who that? But then also I realized the family came to me and said that person hasn't seen my mother in 5 years.
Okay. Safe
So
remembering what the
sometimes,
last time.
yeah,
Mhm.
so sometimes the reaction you get may not even be a valid reaction
Okay.
or one that could count because, again, if they don't understand your product, if they don't understand your message, if they don't understand what you're doing,
Okay.
then they're just speculating based off of what they think they know. And we have to be careful about that in industry because people will size you up in your business and your product based off of something else that exists when really your brand is about you and your vision and what you're called to do and what your message is.
Okay, so it can be a thing where you're doing all this work, putting all the time into your business, your brand, and then it's not a fit it's not a fit. It doesn't fit for everybody. So you got to look at that and say, okay, you're not a good fit for what I'm doing and just walk away. But I think sometimes what a lot of us do, we try to make it fit. Like we got a service, we got a brand, and we want that to work. Take that square and put the circle in the peg and the square,
Yep.
and trying to make things work. And you're like, this is like, we got to know when to say, let it go. It doesn't work. We don't
Or,
we don't fit together. You know what I'm trying to say?
or my product is not for you.
Right.
Because if you're serving, let's say you have people who deal and dabble with vintage, and
Mm-hmm.
vintage may not be your taste,
Mm-hmm.
but to somewhere in the world, there's somebody that loves what you offer. You just haven't came in contact with your
Right.
audience yet. That's why marketing and
Yes.
campaigning and getting your product or your business seen is everything. Because then you want exclusivity, if that's even a word,
Exclusive
or
activity.
yeah, either you're going to remain
We're gonna go with
exclusive,
it.
and I'm not for everybody, but exclusive makes top dollar. Being
Okay, I don't want you to see,
exclusive,
but you gave thumbs up. You gave yourself.
I think that's an iPhone feature or Apple
Yeah, what are we
feature.
doing at Facebook, whatever it is.
But it's, being exclusive has paid people a lot of money. And when you've
Yeah.
made practices in your business, as such, we look at designers. Some designers don't ever do clearance or go on sale. You know,
Okay.
some
Mm-hmm.
car companies you've never seen Bentley ever put out a commercial because my
Mm-hmm.
product speaks for itself. And
Speaks
if you
for
know,
itself.
you know.
Right.
If you come to this, you know where to find us. We're not looking for you.
Okay.
So we use things to display and advertise our business, and people will do that on their own.
Word of mouth. When you
Word of
said
mouth.
marketing, where you can do word of mouth and marketing, and some things we're talking about time management. Don't stop wasting your time management. And this is the topic on tonight. And then the time that you're putting in for your business is your time. And let's go into where there's a time for everything. There's a time to work on your marketing.
Hmm.
There's a time to still function as a human being and still
Right.
live your life, because a lot of people, they tend to put their whole everything into something, and then they're drained and they're tired and they're exhausted, and then they're angry or frustrated because they put all their time in and nobody is paying attention.
Well, I think that's part of the process. I think
Mm,
the thing that we need to understand that it's your baby, it's your
mm,
vision, it's your
mhm.
dream. And I think that sometimes we feel that other people see what we see
There you go.
and
Hmm.
dreamed what we dreamed. And the reality is nobody's going to get it the way you envisioned it. Now, there are
Right.
some people who are able to come into your business and grasp your vision
Okay.
and grasp your idea and can run with it. And there's not too many people that can recall back your vision and your dream in the way in which you see it. So when
Right.
those moments happen, or when that artist that you're working with is creating your pieces or your jewelry or whatever it is that
Hmm.
you're manufacturing and you're painting, and they say, "Oh, that's what I was looking for. That's it."
Hmm.
Then you've got a one in a lifetime opportunity that somebody, or you communicated your vision and your dream very well, that somebody was able to grasp it. But it's a very small amount of occurrences where that happen. And I think sometimes we get upset when other people don't see what we see, or they don't
There it is.
understand the dream that we had.
There it is. Like, why they can't see it? Because it wasn't given to everybody else, it was given to you.
No.
It's you who have to, what's the
Mhm.
word? You're the one that has to put it on display.
You have the right division to make it plain.
Uh-huh. There we
Yep.
go. So it's up to you. So you can't get mad at somebody else who's not buying your product. Maybe they just don't like you said, maybe they don't want that type of, or whatever it is. Maybe they don't want that business. But guess, you know what? One of the things I've learned is that, let's just take a city. Let's say New York. New
Hmm.
York. You have New York, right?
Hmm.
But the world is bigger than just New York.
Correct.
Because I think I put our minds and put ourselves in a box. We
Hmm.
put our own selves in a box, and keep ourselves there. And I look out and say, there's more people out there who's going to love international, international. going that way. You know what? There's so much that's going on. There's more people that's more than New York that's going to read my book. You
Correct.
know, so then you go back to what you were saying. You got to put the time into to advertise, to put that stuff out there. And I think sometimes we just limit ourselves. You want to talk about that?
We do. Because again, we have to understand what's for us. Even in the hotel industry, I've managed different products and
Mm-hmm.
brands. And I remember there's a hotel right in Manhattan, and the rooms were just so small.
Okay.
I mean, so small. And I'm like,
Mm.
what's going on here? But
Right.
people were paying $800 and $900,
Okay.
for something less than 200 square foot
Wow.
of a room. But then when
Wow.
they understood that this is our brand and our brand are for artists and for people
Mm.
that like to write. So a lot of the well-named artists who painters and theater and marketing, they loved it because it was an artist created space. They didn't need a lot because they
Mm-hmm.
need to maintain focus on what's in front of them. And I said, oh. And then I had another property where it was for millennials. Everything
Okay.
about the property was about design and spray paint all over the place and a basketball hoop in the lobby and all kinds of things. I'm like, well, what is all this? But
Mm-hmm.
it was catered to a certain group of people. And their message and their core value said, we're not for everybody.
Okay.
And there were times where people went to check in from corporate
Mm-hmm.
that says, I just can't get with this.
Right.
And we
Right.
said, it's not a problem. We're happy to release you out of your reservation. You've got a
Mm-hmm.
chance to experience us, but we may not be for you. And there was no hard feelings, or we didn't feel rejected by the product
Okay.
we offered, because you have to be okay with what you're offering. And the people that are going to take it will take it. And some people will walk through the door and experience it for the first time and say, this is amazing. And they're with the whole thrill of trying something new.
Okay. Now I want to address that all to everybody that's on here tonight. I hope y'all heard what he just said. Every business owner that is on, I'm looking right in this camera. Look at my eyes, y'all. Every person that's on tonight doing some type of CEO or owner, whatever your business you're running. Do you hear what he just said? It is okay. Don't feel rejected because they don't want your product.
Right.
Please keep going, keep moving, beautiful people. Because I see a lot of people in here, and I know people, and I see in here that have their businesses, they're running their businesses. Please, do me a favor, hit that heart and like on there, because that was serious. He just dropped some gold nuggets right there. Don't feel rejected. And I think what happens is that we feel rejected when somebody don't want our product, when they don't want our service, right?
Yes.
And someone said, I like that. You have to be confident of your product. You have to be confident with what you're selling. You got to be confident. If you're selling poo poo earrings, you, you better sell the mess. You
Somebody's
better,
looking for it.
you, hey, you better sell the mess of the poo poo earrings. And
Somebody's
like
looking for
this
it.
is the best, but you got to sell it. You got to put out there like that's the best thing ever. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh snap, and really? Oh, you're gonna love this because it's the best thing ever. Okay, so we're gonna jump into another topic because I know we've been going on. I see the time and I want to make sure you get everything out there. Stop wasting your time when it comes to relationships, when it comes to friendships, when it comes to business partners, and when it comes to stuff like that. What do you say?
Well, we welcome all business. When you're a business owner, you welcome your business or any person that wants to experience your business.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, remaining focused on what your task is the main objective.
Right.
Um, Relationships, they come and they go.
Yeah.
And as you
Yeah.
evolve, you may be a vendor of mine that I use for whether it be material or different things, but relationships get strained sometimes. And sometimes we have to understand we can outgrow relationships, even in business.
True.
Somebody else may have the productivity, the materials, the machinery, the production to
Mm-hmm.
do what I need done faster. And it may even
Mm.
cost me a little bit more to do business with them, but it's also saving me. Here we go. We're talking about time management. It's
Yes.
also saving me time because we
Mm.
pay for the convenience that it brings to us. So where
Yeah.
you may have been mixing cakes in your kitchen,
Hmm.
but yet you say, oh, I'm going to invest in me a mixer.
Okay.
Now that mixer is doing it faster and quicker versus being old school and whipping it with your hand and you got 20
Right.
to make. But then
Right.
you may find somebody who has a commercial kitchen that can lease it to you and say, we can produce 50 times the many cakes that you got just with the machines that we have. And
Hmm.
that saves you more time. It may
Right.
cost me a little bit money. But then when you start looking at your pricing in your business, as you upgrading your business, your pricing should be able to accommodate the lifestyle of your business.
True. True. Yes. True that it start to, and you got to start because what I'm hearing, you got to be able to move to the next level. Don't always think that that's it. Where you are, like you're saying, do it mixing up in the kitchen like that's no, because it was time management. Now you got people, or now you can reach out. Oh, you got a service that I need, And
Yeah.
I'm going to say in school, you were saying something. It's funny to me, but I would say, no, everybody, please don't want those earrings. Your family's getting tired of you. Your family's getting tired of you trying to sell them that same item that you've been selling. And what happens is we're talking about you turn off your family because they're like, here she go again with another them same earrings that she had over a year ago. They get tired. And I think you burn out. You burn out your family and friends thinking that they're supposed to
Yeah.
purchase from you. Because one of my friends, she has the party palace, and we all know that she has the party palace, but she doesn't look for her friends to go like, oh, you need an event, come, you need to, I got something, you need an event. She's not worried about it because she's comfortable who she is and what she has and what she have, and people will come. She knows that, so we can't get caught up
Right.
in that. So that helped me when I saw her the way she was moving. She wasn't expecting for her friends to come and like, I got a birthday party, let me go to the party palace. She didn't do that.
Right.
She flowed in her own strength, her own thing, and it works for her. So go ahead.
Well, I mean, that's the quickest way to get your feelings hurt because, again, the reality is people will book the place next door
Come right.
or go
Talk
to the
about
funeral
it.
home down the block. And we were great friends. I've had that. Great friends.
Mm-hmm.
And went down the block and said nothing and put the program out as if, but again, I said, well, we could have took care of it. And they said, well, you're expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And here we go, business owners. I'm not going to come down on my price.
The price is the price.
The price is the price because what you're getting is my expertise,
Come
my
on.
time management,
Come on. Yes.
my resources,
Yes.
and then whatever tricks and trades I got along with me underneath my belt that's going to produce the request in which you're asking. And you may find somebody else that can do it cheaper. To each his own. But like you
Choose the
said,
phone.
how do we deal with that level of rejection? Well, my standards are my standards, and my prices, are what's the words? It accommodates everything concerning my business on what I need to thrive, survive, and go to the next level. If
Right.
everybody gave a discount all the time, we won't make no money, and you won't even
Right.
have enough money to repurchase the product and materials and all the things you need, even in the world of inflation now.
You know what? I'm so glad you said that. You know why? Because a business owner have to go out to get the product, right? Whatever it takes, whatever, because they got the business license, whatever, they got to do all this stuff. They go out and they get the things that they need. And then you come in, say me. I don't do it, but I'm just saying, I'm using me for example.
Okay.
I'll go to you and say, you know what, bro, man, can I get a discount? Can I get a little, we're friends. We're friends. Now I don't take in consideration all the time you had to put in to get the thing, to get the event started, right?
Right.
All the money that you had to put into, all the time that you had to spend at the event, the venue to get things together.
Right.
Time management. So
Right.
now I'm gonna come in because now I want it because we and you're cool. I want a discount. Now I'm gonna get mad at you because you won't give me, you my friend. Why can't you give
Discounts
me a
keep you
discount?
working harder, is what I like to say.
Say it again.
Discounts will keep you working harder,
Y'all hear that?
not smarter.
Discounts will keep you working harder, not smarter.
Because your
Somebody
vendors
put
and
that
your
there.
suppliers don't care
Mm-hmm.
what you're pricing it at, their prices are going to be what it is.
Talk about that right there. Okay, so I want y'all to put in the chat. Say that again. Discounts
Will
will
keep
make
you
you
working harder.
discounts will keep you working harder. Somebody put that in the chat because I want everybody who comes back and see this video that they will hear that discounts will make you work harder, right?
Keep you working harder. Yep.
Keep you working harder. Keep you working harder. Discounts will keep you working harder. So don't be selling yourself short because that person don't want or they want a discount because they guess what? God can send 10 more on top of that one. How about that? All right. The floor is yours.
Well, I think it goes back to something you said. People going to do what they want to do.
Yeah.
And the thing, again, you get your feelings hurt a lot when you're in business because you'll find out that people wasn't willing to pay what you want, but then you'll see them invest in the things that they want. They didn't give you the extra money, but they gave it to Gucci.
Come on.
They go stand online, they'll spend their whole paycheck, but then you're saying, well, what about my business? Was I not worth it? And there was nothing wrong with your product or your business. It's just you didn't keep the standard.
You know what it is? It's you.
That
It's
too.
nothing wrong with their product. It's you.
Trying to accommodate people.
Yes. And they don't want to buy from you. Has nothing to do with you because they don't want it from you. And that's one of the things we had brought up one time. I was talking with someone, and I'm like, you could open a store and you can have your stuff in there. That person will have that item. $30 for a pair of jeans. Man, I
Yeah.
can go all the way down to the city and get those. Guess what you just did? You done spent gas,
Yeah.
tolls, all that stuff just to go got down there and spend it on what $20 or whatever, $25, $5 difference. You could have got it right there. Same thing, better. And but see, that's what it happens. You can't let that rejection
Rejection.
or someone that's doing it to you because there's gonna be somebody else. So you put it out elsewhere. Won't friends hurt your feelings? Won't people hurt? Won't family hurt your feelings?
Family and friends. And they won't think nothing about it either.
They will toot their nose up at you and all that time you put in because people don't understand what they see is overseer. What they see is they see the store, but what they don't see is the business plan you have to
Hmm.
take out time to put together. And all the applications, the time you had to put in for applications to get the store or to
Hmm.
get the business loan or
Yep.
to get the credit cards or to get all that stuff to get spending time. Let me tell you, because the business I'm going to launch, the vendors, you got to put your time in to get the correct vendors. You know why? Because you don't want the wrong people um, in your business. You buying from them. You get it, and it's like I asked for 50 t-shirts, and I got them back. I got 50 pieces of rag. It just so you got it's time management. You putting the time in there. So why would I sell myself short? We're gonna have overseer.
And that's entitlements. Family and friends have a sense of entitlement
Uh-huh.
because they feel like as if you owe it to them to do something. But I find out that your family and your friends who are really dedicated in supporting you
Mm-hmm.
will come and support you as much as they can. You
Mm-hmm.
mentioned, when you have halls and different things, everybody don't have the demand all the time. But that's
Right.
why it's important that with time management, you learn to invest
There you
into
go.
marketing things so that way the table is always turning with the demand.
Yes.
Because I may not need a wig every week, but somebody need a wig this week. But I may not buy a wig probably 2 times a week, because of course we're buying products that's meant to last us and to
Yes.
and to have longevity. But
Mm-hmm.
some people go buy a new wig all the time, and then some people say I need it when I can get one. But if you meet enough
Right.
people and you're circulating your business and you're investing the time into marketing and all those different things, then you're always meeting the demand of somebody.
Yes. That was then. New York world. The world is bigger than New York.
Very much bigger
You
than
you
you.
can't keep yourself stuck in that box and thinking that, okay, my friends and family, no, because they're gonna get tired of buying, from
Hmm.
you, and then they want to go elsewhere. And then you got jealousy sometimes, not all the time, but they got jealousy that falls in place. You ain't getting rich off of me, type of mentality, that what's that crab? Is it a crab or grasshopper syndrome? Where they try to call out uh,
Crabs.
the crab syndrome. So yeah. So all right. So anybody have any questions? I have one I'm gonna post that I put on here, and I'm gonna somebody write it down for me. There's a couple of things. It's called Pomodoro. 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 We're talking about some techniques to help you, because we hitting them all. We hitting every space, every avenue. We hitting it right.
Right.
Pomodoro technique. When you have
So
it, save that. Go ahead.
let me see. Let me pull it up. Make sure I got it right. So, what that is, that's more of a technique that's done
Yes.
in cycles where you don't work a particular thing for quite a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, let's say even our procrastinators, or maybe I'm learning to get into the culture of working in the lifestyle that I need to for my business.
Mm-hmm.
Where sometimes until I learn to have the wherewithal to do my business long term,
Mm-hmm.
I can do it for a short period of time and then I break from it.
Right.
You see that when it comes to writers. So
Mm-hmm.
writers, when they're writing, but then they know how to put the book down, put the pen down, and walk away from it for a time frame, so that way they can have the opportunity to be inspired again to continue writing.
That's the truth.
I need to be able to catch vision. Artists do that, writers do that, people that make jewelry and different things like that. They have to be inspired by anything
Mm-hmm.
to create a concept, or to create, like you said, the poop earrings. You know, Something inspires somebody to do that. And then you'll see it in a movie, or you'll see it with something that you never thought would
Right.
even go viral, and you're like, well, who came up with that? And now it's the biggest thing, because you've learned to operate in that technique that only works for a short period of time. So I write a little bit and I walk away. I
Mm-hmm.
get inspired with art, I throw some paint on the wall and I just walk away.
Yeah.
I may not see nothing while I was making it, but then I
Mm-hmm.
went, and had a drink and a cigarette, took a break, and you came back and boom, I see something different. So that's what that technique that you mentioned is all about. It's about doing it for a short period of time and then walking away to allow
Mm-hmm.
yourself to grasp a new concept or to be inspired.
Everybody get that? Okay, another one. We're just giving a little techniques out on tonight, and then we're gonna get back into the topic. It's called Eisenhower Matrix.
Hmm.
Eisenhower Matrix is to categorize tasks based on their urgency and importance, then prioritize them accordingly.
So that's good, because we see that, that's one of my favorites, but we see that in definitely like in medical fields and things. They take who's the most critical
Mm, correct.
and save
Yes.
the life that's most critical. If you
Mm-hmm.
having a heart attack, that's critical. You having an asthma attack, that's critical. But you man,
Right.
you're in the ER because I got a cut and I'm bleeding out, but you're not as critical as the
Right.
next person.
Right.
Even when it comes down to system management, those of us at the hotel, I managed a property, right next to a huge stadium in Jersey at one time. And we sometimes at 5, 6 o'clock, we have to drop everything that we're doing, your administrative duties, everything. And we simply head to the front because we know the lines are going to be out the door during a crucial period. So right now, regardless of all the work, I got a schedule to do, I got budgeting to do, I got other administrative duties. But right now, what's demanding my time is the thing that, is in full operation and full throttle at the moment. We see it again, medical, ER, what's coming through the door. Boom, you drop everything and we cater to what the critical thing is. And that's the thing that needs the attention. Or in other words, as you said, what's most important?
What's most important?
Was most
Yeah.
important what we're dealing with first.
Yeah. And then that's where you're trying to prioritize, put things in category, put things in its place. Because, like you said, if I go up there with a cut on my finger and I'm like, it's taking me 3 4 hours just to see somebody, but somebody else back there's having a heart attack, somebody else coming in with a broken leg, you know what I mean? Somebody else, but I'm over crying over a splinter in my finger, just, to put perspective
I
on
do
it.
it in my business all the time. I said, with my hotel, my employees, I say, who do you deal with first? If a person walk in to check in to the hotel and you're on the phone with the guest that wants to book a reservation, we
Okay.
tend to the person who has a reservation, whose money is right in front of us, because the person
Oh,
on the phone don't have a reservation yet.
okay.
So I'm going to tend to what's in front of me. So that's why sometimes y'all be on hold if you're
Okay.
calling, because
Okay.
it's not only is it rude, but also you want to tend to the business that is already in house, because that has the potential to be returning business.
Yeah.
Where now we live in a world where the person on the phone may have 50 options that they're still trying to come to a conclusion with.
True that. That
Not
is good. Did y'all
guaranteed
hear
money.
that? Okay, someone had a question. What is the best way to build a consistent clientele or customers?
There's a few factors with consistent clientele. Communication is one. Keeping
Hmm.
your clientele abreast of what you're doing in your business. Some people do it through email blitz. Some people do it through flyers and marketing. Marketing is always going to be key. Letting them know, when your sales are going to be, when you're running sales, when your new products are coming. A lot of things are based off of even things that you're looking to get into, premieres, things you're looking to showcase that's coming, and keeping your clientele engaged. Service is the other part. I mean, I am a stickler about service. You
Hmm.
want me to keep coming back, ship my stuff on time, and let it be here when you say it's gonna be here.
That's it. That's
If you
it.
say I'm paying for shipping and it's 2 to 3 days, now we know UPS and the
Hmm.
postal service be doing what they do, but even while there's a delay, communication. It's nice to know, hey, I shipped it out. It was supposed to be there today. I followed up on your package today and I
Hmm.
realize that it is delayed and I'm making you aware. But when a client is saying, well, where my stuff? And I haven't heard from the person that shipped it and days are going by, you kind of left me out there to try to figure it out by myself. So, engaging with your clientele is very important, keeping them abreast, and then also showing them that you're on top of them getting their stuff, you know, and then don't feel afraid to take ownership and responsibilities for some things, because you know what, I made a cake, you know what, I don't like the way it was delivered, it wasn't good, you know what, I'm shipping another one out right now, I'm going to bring it to you
Right.
myself, I'm going to
Right.
personalize it, and I'm going to bring it myself, or I'm going to do this. A lot of times even in hotel, I go out and personally check people in that I know all the time that comes, and I let them know that you have my attention, and I ask about their family, so we engage in some form of relationship, because people just want to be acknowledged.
Right. Or just
People
announce or like, hello. If you're doing stuff like this, I can look over here. Hello, Nikki. Welcome. Hello, Beatrice. Hello, Honey Dip.
they
Everybody
want
that's
to
on
feel
here,
important.
welcome. Right. Hello, everybody that's on here. We appreciate you. Just like that. Just like that. And Nikki said, I'm a newbie entrepreneur and I need tips. We're gonna have him come back because I know I've been he's a very busy man, but I'm gonna have him come back and we do a business 101 because he knows his stuff.
Yeah, do the
We talk
VIP status, make them VIP. People love that, especially in my industry. When you come out there, welcome
Right.
back, so and so, using their name.
Exactly. Because they shows that you care. They shows you paying attention to them. And
So you just make them feel special. Like, oh,
that's
you with
it.
your girlfriend? I'm gonna make you feel good in front of your girlfriend. No problem, Mr. Smith.
Right.
Welcome back. Our favorite clientele. You only been here twice, but they don't. She don't need to know that.
Right. Exactly.
She don't need to
One
know.
one thing I want to share, because I know we're running down on the time. One thing I want to share, and I was sharing with one of my friends. I went to a hospital I'd never been to, right? I had to go
Mm,
get a procedure done. When I walked into that place, from the security guard, from the receptionist, from the person who had to register me, from the nurses, the doctors, when I tell you, they treated me like I was their best person, the customer. It made me feel so good. And I said,
right,
I have to write them a letter to show my appreciation, because they made me feel so good. Right down to the doctor, the anesthesiologist, everybody there made me feel so special. And I said, I have to write a letter. And I said, I think I need to come back here. Right down to the eating area. They
right,
have their own, when we asked to go outside, it was like, that's for the employees, seating on the outside.
right,
So that shows how much they care
right.
for, so stuff like that make people come back. Customer service. You don't necessarily, one of the things is, with we talk about time management, one of the things that you can do, and here's my point, I'm gonna make an example. Someone call you, say if they're calling the podcast, the round table. I'm gonna give you an example. The phone ring, ring, ring. Hello, how can I help you?
Mm,
They're like, okay, no, thank you. Am I right? But
yes.
when I go, hi, welcome to the round table. This is Juanita. How can I be assistance to you today? What am I gonna get? I'm gonna get someone to stay on their phone and then engage with me,
Right,
because they can hear it. Because when you're on the phone, one of the things at our job, they always tell us, when you get on the phone, put a smile on your face.
right.
They can hear that smile, that lifted thing, because they don't want to deal with you. You all grumpy. Nobody tell you to get. I ain't getting my breakfast this morning, and I ain't getting my break yet. They don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear nothing about when you
Nope,
sell your stuff, and when you up in front of people, you're doing customer service, and when you're
nope,
selling the product. They do not want to hear that the dog chewed your best shoes. They don't want to hear that you almost got in a car accident, or somebody gave you the bird, or flipped you the bird. Somebody, oh, I ain't this coffee spilt on my shirt this morning, and I had to go back and change it. They don't care.
no.
What they want is a service given to them. Am I right about that, overseer?
You're absolutely right. I mean, in hospitality, our hotels are based off of service scores, what we call stay scores.
Mm,
And when people stay, they get surveys and they respond to them surveys. I think it's now 1 to 5,
okay.
and only 4 and 5s matter. And
Mm,
if by chance your hotel doesn't get enough of them, they will literally take the name of the hotel off the building.
oh,
So part of what I do is I
mm-hmm,
go in to change that culture. Because
mm-hmm.
again, you're being paid to provide a service.
Yes.
And a lot of times I have to explain to my employees, they don't care about what you had to do on the other side. This is somebody's vacation, somebody's um, the night they got married, their business trip, whatever it is, and their pay. So you have to go above and beyond. And one of the things that works very well is guest interaction and being
Yes.
proactive with our CRM, which meaning go the extra mile. So sometimes with the
Yes.
clientels, we have our diamond and our gold members, and sometimes understanding their culture is different because they travel a lot. So they're used to the spiel, but
Mm,
they didn't know that we knew that it was their birthday.
right.
They didn't
Right.
know that, one of them, like, a little ratchet TV, and we told him what channel it was on, coming to our city, and he was like, you could have kept the water and all the cupcakes, but that meant the world to people. So again, and people don't want to show up to a place where service is trash. You know, it's like a
Mm-hmm.
restaurant. You go places that people are unhappy and you got attitude with me, and I'm just coming here to, you know, have a good time. And we don't want that type of interaction. People want
Right.
to feel important. I'm
Feel
spending my
important.
money. I pay how much because they tell you how much they pay, and
Mm-hmm.
they
Sure
have
enough.
expectation, rightfully so. So when
Right.
you have a product, you know, I expect your cakes to look like you advertise. Now, if you stole somebody else's pictures, we gonna see because the cake don't look like that. You
Oh
know,
my God. And
the chicken don't look
woo!
like that.
Right. And so you know what? You know what happens a lot of times, and I think a lot of people get scorned from it. They people put stuff out there, take pictures or whatever, and they are not authentic.
Plagiarism.
What? Say that again.
You cook what? I don't even look like the food I see.
Right. Like this is the nastiest. Right.
It happens.
And you playing games with people. So people like, I don't want. And that's why I said with the me launching my business, I have to be very careful because a lot of these companies are in, in not here, in
Right.
different countries. So you have to do your due diligence. You have to put the
Quality assurance.
time in it,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah, we call that quality assurance.
Quality assurance. Okay.
Quality assurance.
Now, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, quality assurance is making sure that I'm producing the product that I say I am. And
Hmm.
if it's not right, I'm not going to keep that on production. I'm not going to. So sometimes, even here at my hotel, when people are hired, I send them to the restaurants and even restaurants around the hotel. We try their food. We eat their food because we're not going to recommend people and put our name on it if it's not good. So when we send people there and they ask, well, what do you like? Well, it all depends on what you like, but these are the options. People expect us to know and have the options. So I tell my front desk, you're more than just front desk, you know,
Right.
agents. You are doctors, you are GPS, you are the AI. Man, we just say AI
Come on, because
because
AI
you
is
got to
taking over.
answers. You cannot pick up the phone. Hey, do you guys have rooms? Well, let me see if we got room. How you don't know? You work there. I think that's my pet peeve. To call a business and ask them something about their business, and the person that picks up the phone has no clue about what I'm calling. Well, why are you picking up the phone?
Right.
Why you don't have the answers? You work there, right? Or you're the owner or the representative?
And they want to say, give me the owner, give me somebody, give me your supervisor, give me somebody. So what they teach us is if you don't know the answer, 1 minute, let me get someone for
I'll
you
get that
that
answer.
that can answer for you. Do not, I repeat, do not take that phone call and switch it over and hang up. No, what you're supposed to do is stay on that line and say, I have, whoever on the phone, they have an answer, blah, blah, blah. Can you please help them? And then go back to it. I have Mr. Scott Fredericks on the line, and he will be able to help you
Yeah,
with
we
you
say
with all
we
the
have a
questions.
colleague that has better knowledge of that,
There
who
you
can
go.
assist you better with this.
Yes.
Do you mind if I transfer you?
If do you mind if I trans exactly,
Do you mind?
exactly? Because everybody who's on here, all the businesses, you're gonna come across that. You're gonna have people because you're gonna have people in place. Oh, that's a good one. We're gonna lead out with that one. When you get the people, because you have a lot of employees under you,
Yeah.
um, so people that's on here have the business. They're gonna have to choose. You're gonna choose the people that's gonna be on your people that you're going to be hiring and all that stuff.
Mhm.
Please put the time into that too. Let's talk about that before we close out. Time management on that. Hiring people that's going to be in your business because you're going to have a receptionist, you're going to have a bookkeeper, you're going to have all that stuff. Because guess what? I'm not going to do, overseer. I'm not going to hire an accountant and then you're going to have my taxes all jacked up and they have me. They have me in a paper in my hands. Like,
Well, I
okay,
mean,
no.
the biggest factor that I go into, so I manage 175 people. So I
Mm,
tell people, my managers in particular,
hmm.
I hired you for a reason and a skill set.
There you go.
But I also tell them, I can teach you skills, but what I cannot teach you in this industry is personality. It's not enough just to have skills.
Hmm.
You have to also have the personality. And I don't
Yeah.
micromanage unless I have to. And if I have to micromanage, then I don't need you.
I don't need you. If I gotta micromanage
So,
you, if you come in
and
and
I
say
don't
you're a
say it
receptionist,
quite in that way, but I do say it quite in that way.
okay.
So I'm very nice and I get along, but also, fun and games and all the great things and creating culture and fun is amazing.
Hmm.
But then when it's time to work, there's an expectation of work because we all get paid to do a job.
Exactly.
So understanding boundaries, understanding what we're set out to do, the culture of my business,
Hmm.
and the expectation. I let somebody go today because,
Oh.
and it was because you couldn't do the job, but I supported and I've given them resources and I retrain. And
Hmm.
sometimes in business, you just have to say, we have to go our separate ways because you're just not a fit. It doesn't mean that you're not good.
Hmm.
You're just not what I need.
Right. You're
And
not
you're
right for this
just not
job.
meeting the expectations from me. And I leave
Hmm.
them with that bit of confidence. I don't strip them of their confidence, but I say,
Okay.
there is another opportunity that works for you, but maybe the demand and what we're asking is taking too much from you. Taking that time management again,
There you
and
go.
taking away from your ability to be productive and to manage and to produce what I need you to do in a timely fashion.
In a time.
So again, you're wonderful, you're great, but what we need, and here we
Mm.
go, the famous like, we're going in a direction
Ah,
where we need somebody who can move faster, who can think faster, who can process faster. It's like
yes.
if you need an assistant or an administrator, I need you to be a little more organized. I need somebody who has the ability to write letters and who can communicate effectively via phone, through written,
Hmm.
and be able to master scheduling and be able to do multitasking. And it's very big with multitasking here.
And I have the gift of gab to get into the job and find out that you
The resumes be lying.
what?
They be lying on the
They
resumes.
be lying.
They be
They be
lying.
lying. You get them said, who? What did you write? Who wrote this? Take this back to your 2 year old. And you, what did you? Did you proof get this proofread?
Yeah, it happens.
Did you? Anyway, y'all. I know because we had. If somebody wrote "can't teach personality," overseas Scott. We have to have you back on here because
Yeah,
this
you
was
can't teach the
so
personality.
good. You're right. This was, thank you, Nikki, and everybody that came on. Honey Dip, everybody be, and everybody that's on Instagram, everybody on YouTube, everybody that's on Facebook. We appreciate you, Overseer. You know we gotta have you to come back because you
Yeah,
be dropping nuggets, and then you
I
like you're
try.
gone.
I try. I try.
We're gonna have to do this again because I did a lot of stuff that we did not cover, but I appreciate you for taking out your time. Um, taking out your time. It wasn't wasted. I appreciate it
No,
because
not.
everybody here is going to get a lot of stuff from what you had said. And we'll have you come back again because we need people on here to talk about business. There's so many things that I want to share with others. What I have, I want to share.
Mhm.
And this is one of those things. So I appreciate you, Overseer Scott. Thank
Thanks
you
for
so much.
having me. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And on that note, y'all, I don't leave any platform that I'm on without saying it's not over until God says so. So on that note, everybody, we bid you a good night. Good night. Thank you.